Get away from social media, guys. I'm not saying you should give it up forever. I'm not saying you don't need to go on it from week to week. I'm not even saying you don't need to go on it every day. But it has become an addiction for many of us, you know. Particularly the millennial generation and definitely the generation below us. Right? I'm born in 1991, right? So I didn't really have a phone till I was like 12, right? A mobile phone, or as Americans call them, cell phones, right? And even when I did, and any of my friends and acquaintances that had phones, you know, that most of the phones that we had when we first got mobile phones were not, did not have the internet on them. They weren't smartphones, right? They were old phones. Well, at the time they were modern, but, you know. Excuse me. And, you know, we weren't constantly on social media. Now, so many people are on social media all the time, constantly writing things, constantly checking the likes they have, right, of their tweets on Twitter, of their photos, their posts on Instagram, of on their Facebook page, right, etc., etc., right? Social media is a wonderful thing. We are blessed to live in a time where we can connect to anyone around the world, where we can talk to our family and friends instantly, where we can promote our businesses for pretty much for free, you know, and earn a living doing that, where you can grow as a musician or a business owner or whatever, right? Promote yourself online. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing. There's lots of wonderful things about social media. However, you know, social media has been linked to mental health problems, you know. Although intellectually we know social media isn't the real world, you know, we can, it can affect us, you know. People get anxiety from constantly going on social media. People get depressed when people don't message them back straight away or like something, you know. It's not like an interaction with a human being or a group of human beings in real life. It's just the constant fucking dopamine spike, you know. People's attention spans are becoming shorter. They're constantly checking social media. It's like a fucking drug, you know. It's like injecting heroin or something. Constantly looking for like the little notification, the heart on Instagram, the bell symbol on Twitter, the like on Facebook, the number, and the little red circle, you know. You know, it's almost like everyone's got ADHD. I actually do have ADHD, but it's like everyone has, because they're constantly looking on social media, then they're doing something else, and it has to be affecting our attention span, surely, right? Yeah, guys, just take a break from social media, you know. Yeah, you learn to be present in the moment with people. You know, people didn't used to have social media until recently, right? We're addicted to it. Just get away from it for a bit. You'll probably find, even if you go on it every day, and you only go on it, as Russell Brand says, go on it at a set time every day, say like 4 in the afternoon or whatever, for 20 minutes or half an hour or 45 minutes or an hour, no more than that. And if you can't do that, well then you have to admit to yourself you're addicted to it. Literally, that's not hyperbole, right? That's literally, that's not an exaggeration. We are addicted to it. If we can't go on it, if we have to go on it, and we're like, oh, I'm yearning to go on it all day, you're thinking about going on it, oh man, I really want to go on social media, and then after you've been on it, you go, oh, I need to go back on it and see if anyone's written anything. Okay, that's a fucking addiction, man. Think about how many people like carry their phones around as Joe Rogan says, it's a fucking, if there was a drug that made you look at your hand all the time, you'd be like, whoa, that's some crazy dangerous shit. That is some fucked up drug, right? Well, essentially, is that not what many of us are doing when we look at our phones? We constantly have our phone in our hand, we're constantly looking at it. It's like, listen, there's lots of wonderful things about social media, but just try and take a break from it. I personally have taken, a month and a half off social media before a couple of years ago. I felt so much better for it. You're present in the moment. You're not worrying about what other people are thinking. You're not living in a virtual world. You're not constantly reacting to tweets. You're not having, primal socio-political arguments about something that you wouldn't, in a way that you wouldn't in real life with another human being. There's no tone of voice on social media. There's no body language, which is like 70 to 90% of communication, right? So we interpret things that people write in it, however our brain interprets them at the time, right? And we might miss the intention. We might get offended for no reason. We might offend someone else. We might get upset. We might think someone's being a dick to us when they're not. There's lots of things that go on when you're on social media, man. So try and take a break from it, guys, and see how you feel, if you feel better. Okay? Maybe you only go on it one day a week. However you choose to organise it. Your schedule and your time and the amount of time you spend on social media and when you log into social media is up to you. Right? But I certainly would recommend all of you and myself, taking a break from it and trying to limit the amount of time we spend on it, right? Interact with real people in real life. You'll probably feel much better for it. Okay, take care, guys. You can do it, people.